Hey guys, Desolator Magic here with the Desolator News Network. And we've got some spicy news for you. There's really just two news stories. I just didn't feel like making two videos because I gotta go do a corporate PA job in like an hour. First up, we finally have final confirmation that the Magic the Gathering Netflix series is completely canceled. We got news that it exists, we got rumors that it was almost entirely done, and now we've got news that the finishing touches, I guess, won't be put on, and it's just gone. Now, if you're not familiar, animation is expensive, so whatever level of done it was, anything past concept, writing, outlines, and storyboards, real pricey. Well, Netflix didn't really have a choice because they keep making woke garbage that nobody wants to watch, and at the same time they've got huge competition from other woke trash. So they're out of money, nothing is working, and this is a radioactive property, okay? It is going down in popularity like you would not believe. WotC plus Netflix equals this is going to be the wokest garbage you've ever seen in your life, and I think they're finally realizing that that only applies to like a very narrow percentage of their customers, and the rest of the people are like, hooray that it exists, but I'm not going to watch it, and if it gets low watch numbers, it is not worth their time because it's not worth the viewers' subscription money. I canceled Netflix at least 6 or 7 years ago, and apparently so did, I think, like half their customers, or I haven't seen later numbers. It's going downhill quick. So they had to scale down, cut a bunch of projects. They canceled a ton that were in the works. But this was a little bit before that, all that drama. So it already was held up, and it was only shortly after they, I guess, sort of canceled or never got off the ground with the Magic the Gathering, I want to say live action movie. I believe they either couldn't find a production company, couldn't find a writer, couldn't agree on a storyboard. It was something like that. So it was really, really early. They hadn't like filmed anything. It's not like they filmed half of it. The test audiences said it was garbage, and then they abandoned it. So they spent next to nothing on that. I would have loved to see it, but not in like the 2020s. It's just, there's no chance that anything involved in WotC and Hollywood or Netflix could have been good. Dead ass zero, because they would have enforced who they hire, and who they hire would not be because of talent. It would be because of their politics and other ridiculous beliefs. So as much as I'd love to see it, because the story is like amazing, it would have been a train wreck in either case. So if you at least want to see the leaked trailer that I posted on my channel for the Magic the Gathering movie, somehow this very real and legitimate and definitely not prank trailer made it to the meme remix playlist. I don't know how that happened, and I'm not going to fix it, but go click on that. You really should. Actually, I'm just saying, I don't want to ruin it, but like, anyway, we're only about 95% sure that it's canceled, and we're getting it from one of the original voice actors, probably like Gideon or something. It's from Brandon Routh. He stated, and I quote, "I'm not sure. I did a voice for it. As far as I understand, nobody's put out a press release about it, but apparently it's not happening. That's kind of old news. I'm not sure why it's surfacing again." So, like, the people involved knew that they didn't do any more work on it, weren't getting callbacks, or were directly told, hey, this is on pause or canceled, and they're just like, okay, move on with my life. But man, if you're paying voice actors, you've already got a script, you've already got a storyboard. That's money. Okay, that is an expensive oopsie. Is this going to affect WotC's bottom line? I don't think so. What I heard was that, well, this is true. Hasbro acquired for like between 1 and 4 billion. It was like some outrageous number. I want to say $1.8 billion. A production company that does like Hollywood level video, or at least like Netflix level. And then they proceeded to do dead ass nothing with it. And I think last I heard they sold it. They had a bunch of canceled crap, didn't do anything with like Power Rangers, which they also acquired, didn't really. Yeah, one of the worst acquisitions in that year, according to the financial analysts. So apparently, they had nothing to do with the production of this. It was Netflix's team. Why? Like, actually, why? Oh my gosh, when lazy entitled socialists try to get together and do literally anything, and all they care about is preaching about their illogical bullshit and having infighting and people who don't want to show up to work because of a mental health day. You expect a competent movie or series to be made from that? Yeah, right after Zimbabwe beats Elon Musk to Mars. So we don't have any more details other than it definitely was canceled, but he doesn't have any details about it. Oh, and they did confirm he was the voice of Gideon Jura, so that's a shame. That would have been kind of cool. Now, there was one little blurb about a year ago that the show was just on pause and like they had all the assets. It wasn't really canceled, but he now is contradicting that, saying that it was, quote, old news. So I think Netflix was just like, oh no, it's just on pause. We might proceed with it. They didn't say anything that specific, but yeah, they just like confirmed that it still existed. Well, yeah, the work, you didn't hit delete, you didn't trash the computers. That was such a nothing burger. I think they just wanted to get like a response and have people like send headlines everywhere like, oh, the Magic the Gathering Netflix series is still alive. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Woo. And then they would have proceeded with it. Maybe. So naturally, people are speculating that it has something to do with the whole AI strike. I don't know much about it. There's multiple. There's the actors, then there's the voice actors, then there's the other people. Everybody's on strike. And that's the final nail in the coffin. That's the narrative. And then he comes out and says, no, it was way before that, paraphrased. Well, this is coming right on the heels of some more Hasbro crap not working out. Besides the 30% of the company getting fired, there was some other stuff that didn't really work out. A bunch of Transformers stuff. I think there was like a movie that they backed out of. Some kind of Power Rangers thing didn't work out. I don't remember what that was either. Well, I don't think we'll ever see it. I don't think anybody's going to leak like screenshots or anything. Not that I care. It would have been awful. So like, why would I want to see what could have been when I know darn well what could have been is not what I would have wanted? It's a shame because it's a better written story. Over the last 30 years, there are like better story arcs that are better written with better like consistent lore, and just it would be such a good movie. You got the action, you got the drama, the mystery, all that stuff. You can go back to Urza Saga, let alone anything after that. Clean it up, movieify it, and you'd have a franchise or like a series, I guess you could say, bigger than Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. I mean, in modern day, if it took off, people were like, oh, this is interesting, it would self-feed the cycle. You would just have to throw so much money to get the best of the best people to work on it and to keep the worst of the worst people from working on it. Both of which, they don't have the funds, they don't have the power, influence, connections, none of that. It just, trust me when I say, none of this would have worked out. So the bigger story is the Hasbro CEO, Chris Cocks, says all of his friends are using AI for their D&D games, which is a clear signal that we need to be embracing it, direct quote. And then he says, we will deploy AI significantly and liberally internally. Now, this is coming off of them assuring all the writers and artists, who are all contractors pretty much, by the way, that, oh, no AI, it's banned. It is absolutely not allowed at our company. And then there was all these embarrassing things where, like, they were found to be using AI, but not them directly. It was a third party that got it past their quote-unquote detection system, which I'm sure is a system that doesn't exist, or is just one person for 10 seconds using their eyes who doesn't know what AI means or looks like. Probably the same department that proofreads all the text on their cards. So Chris Cocks says to this day he still plays D&D regularly with 30 or 40 people, which, like, really? And he said there's not a single person who doesn't use AI somehow for either campaign development or character development or story ideas. So apparently they're all running custom campaigns. Now, if you want to just say, oh, I love that, cool, and leave it at that, and he says, you do you, that is what it is. It would be damaging and unwise, but that would be the end of it. No. He says he uses it to be his own dang DM. So apparently he doesn't even want to use the products they release. So he's like, everybody's doing it, and it makes, character creation and background stories easier, probably because, I don't know, everybody in my group was too lazy to write a background. I didn't write it. It was just in my head, the old shower authorship, 5 minutes of thinking time, and I'm like, yeah, I got her. Now, need I remind you of the exact phrasing that the company came out with, okay? It was, we do not allow AI for the final product in any of our creative story, writing, art, anything. So you can tell AI, generate a scene that looks like this, and then do your own take on it. You could just outright almost trace over it, and they're like, we're fine with that. That's my interpretation of it. I mean, what else would they think? It is such a time saver in this stuff. When you have to pay an author, they don't turn their work in on time. They don't do a good enough job, and it's going to print, and now what do? Nobody who's respectable and high paid enough wants to work for them now. That's a whole other story. And I don't work for them, do work for them, contract work, because they've had issues paying their contractors in the past. They've whined about revisions and withheld payments. Look at the Dragonlance story. Now, on the other side of things, you got to take this with a grain of salt because he was saying all these things at a Goldman Sachs conference. Everybody knows, I don't care if you make toasters or you make mouse pads with anime girls on them, you have to somehow convince the stockholders, if you are publicly held, that you're implementing AI somewhere. You got AI-powered potatoes. I don't know. Oh yeah, AI is helping us sort potatoes and this and that and something about nutrient. I don't know, whatever. We do AI, give us money. Let me back the history train up to the .com crash, or the bubble. Now, people assume bubble means complete and utter scam failure. Like 3D. Every time people have done 3D, it crashed and burned. It's a stupid idea. It's never going to be good enough. The last time around, they pushed it. It was a bubble. It was stupid. It was a gimmick for dumb rich people. It didn't work. It gave people headaches. It was fundamentally flawed. All of the strap it to your face VR gives people headaches. Any kind of 3D or VR is really like a bubble. 3D televisions went away. The VR stuff is still pretty cool, but people have limited interactions in it. And that last stupid thing by Apple was a joke. Nobody wants it. It's garbage. If they can't make a competent product, it's over, okay? But just like when anybody put .com or web or website in their name in the early 2000s and people just threw venture capital money at it blindly because you throw 10 darts and 8 of them make money, it didn't matter. But then people started figuring that out and just being like, ma and pa basement, whatever, but we make websites and something about, pets.com or whatever. And they're just like, yeah, the internet's the future. Well, they were 100% correct. Look at right now. They were correct, but my gosh, did they throw too much money at it. Welcome to AI, okay? AI is the new 3D televisions. It's not going anywhere. People are still going to use it. It's going to turn into like VR headsets. It's going to turn into a product that people use. But right now, there's AI-powered like paper shredders. It's algorithms. It was always algorithms. None of it is a neural network. None of it uses AI. It's a cash grab. It's a bubble. It's nonsense. One of the original founding companies of AI itself has gone bankrupt. If you're the first one in and you hold the patents and you can't make it profitable because the GPUs and the electricity cost too damn much money and the money started running out, that is the definition of a potential bubble. AI is going to come crashing down and everybody's going to shut the hell up about it. But in the meantime, if you're speaking at a Goldman Sachs conference and you're the CEO of a $1+ billion company, you're going to tell them AI is your best damn friend, whether it's true or not. You could literally say AI is banned and it's a fireable offense, and if anybody's caught with AI, even on their phone, writing one sentence, we will terminate and sue you. And then you go to the shareholder meeting, or you go to a conference or an investment thing or whatever the hell this was, and you go, oh, AI, yeah, we're looking into it. We have a lot of people looking into it. Now, you don't tell them the answer is no. It's too expensive. It will do nothing for your business. Will piss off all your contractors, and it would be a disaster. All of your customers will leave. It'll be a giant controversy. You don't tell them that. You just tell them, oh, we got people looking into it. We're testing it. And they are. The difference is it's Chris freaking Cocks. He probably is actually going to implement it just to save money. He's a penny pincher who only cares about short-term numbers and his own reputation and ego so he can climb the corporate ladder. And he seems like the type that would go full Icarus wings on this, okay? He gonna be melting down, going way too close to the sun, and the sun is the heat coming off of all the GPUs calculating this AI bullshit. Now, if all they do is content creation when it comes to art and text, they're just going to wait for it to get like 1% mainstream, and they'll be the second one on that train saying, oh, well, the industry is moving that direction. But in the meantime, he's telling people, oh, yeah, well, I use it, we use it, my friends use it, I play D&D all the time. Oh, AI is the greatest thing ever. Woo! We're super looking into it. But then he said, we will deploy AI significantly liberally internally. He said that. That is like just short of, if not literally, a binding public statement from a publicly held company. If they now don't do it, the shareholders could literally sue him. So do I think they're moving that direction? Absolutely. I think they're just going to say, well, it's either that or go away. Oh, it's either that or we get berry bar competition. Oh, they're all doing it, so we have to do it too. It's going to be all these justifications. They're going to work something out with some kind of like, we're going to pay all of our whoever, and we'll make sure it wasn't sampled on anything that wasn't open source and blah-de-blah-de-blah. I don't know. I think we're going to get a bunch of cursed AI images, but they'll probably hire the artists for 5 times the money to just touch up AI work. And the first artists to jump on that are going to have one hell of a cash grab going on there. That's a gold mine. I'll tell you that right now. You put AI touch-up artist in your bio, All they got to do is put a little disclaimer that AI was used in the generation of this, but not for the final product, and you just drew a shadow correctly or corrected, 6 fingers on the same hand. Oh no, this was done by this artist. We'll put their name on it. And also, since we didn't have to spend $1 million on artists, we spent $50,000 on artists, we'll just give 10x the money to this person. And make them sign an NDA that doesn't let them talk about the percentage of the art that they touched up. And what percentage was AI. That's where the future is going to be in about 2 years. I don't care if Hasbro does it or not. They will get on that eventually. He has now assured us of that. So he could be talking out his ass, but like I said, this isn't the usual vague, oh yeah, we're looking into AI, trust us and keep giving us money. They don't want to be the people openly rejecting it at a Goldman Sachs conference, but he made statements that I haven't even read yet, like 10 more that are like, no, we're doing this. This ain't the first time he publicly contradicted what the company's official statement is, although let me remind you once again, their official statement on AI was not for final products. So you can have them write the entire storyline to Duskborn. I'm not saying they did it, I'm just saying you could, and then just have an editor/writer go through it, change around a couple little things, fix a couple little things, do a couple little tonal things, change the wording on some stuff, go with a slightly different style, and oh, no, we didn't use AI for the final product. Once it gets good enough, they ain't going to say crap, all right? They don't legally have to disclose that, nor are they going to. So that's been your 2 giant news stories in the world of MTG. Thanks for watching, everybody. DNN out.